Indie Mogul.
The 2009 box office continues to be surprisingly strong as this Martin Luther King Jr. holiday frame is up 31% from last year. And since it is a holiday weekend, Monday should continue to boast high numbers as Hollywood's on a roll. But just how lucky is Tinseltown? Let's find out with some movie math. And yes, some would say it is luck and not talent that got a certain comedian to the top of the box office this weekend. Shockingly, Kevin James' Blart Mall Cop was #1, and it wasn't even close. Mall Cop captured $33.8 million, and since it only cost $26 million to make, expect Kevin James' stock in Hollywood to rise considerably, especially considering his last film, I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, had pretty much the same opening but co-starred Adam Sandler. Sandler is behind the camera this time as producer, and he can be proud to have given his friend a considerable boost in the movie star department. Right about now, poor Rob Schneider is probably wondering what Kevin James has that he doesn't. Clint Eastwood continues to beat up youngsters as Gran Torino, in its sixth week of release, left newly released movies My Bloody Valentine, Notorious, and Hotel for Dogs in the dust. Gran Torino fell just 25% from last weekend to pull in $22 million. With a total of $73 million so far, Gran Torino has a shot at being Eastwood's most successful movie ever. While Gran Torino was basically ignored by the Golden Globes, will audiences' tremendous support for Eastwood catch the Academy's eye? We'll find out this Thursday when the Oscar nominations are announced. And at number 3 is My Bloody Valentine 3D, bringing in $21.9 million. Valentine is the widest 3D release ever as it played on 1,033 3D screens and 1,501 regular D screens. Valentine's opening was respectful if not legendary in the world of horror film, but then again this is only its first weekend and 3D is still relatively new to audiences. We'll just have to wait and see if Valentine can manage a drawn-out killing spree at the box office. But in its favor is audience reaction. I asked you to rate Valentine on a 1 to 10 and you gave it an 8, which is what we at Beyond the Trailer gave it on Friday. And the winner of the One Sentence Review Challenge is Census Fail X13XX, who says Valentine is good enough to stand alone as a horror movie, but 3D is the way to see it. Runner-up is True That Too, saying this movie delivers the creepiest chills ever seen through the 3D vision. As for the other new releases, Notorious came in at number 4 with $21.5 million. While My Bloody Valentine just barely beat Notorious overall, Notorious boasted a far more impressive per-screen average. And opening at number 5 was Hotel for Dogs with $17.7 million. Not bad for the Nickelodeon flick, especially since it'll make its real money on DVD. Also of note this weekend, Defiance went wide and brought in $9.2 million, coming in at number 8. But unless it gets some Oscar noms, it will be difficult for the Holocaust actioner to climb any higher. Overall, it's been a pretty good year for Daniel Craig, but not as spectacular as it could have been. He and his agents might have to rethink their strategy a little. And after taking home a slew of Golden Globes, Slumdog Millionaire went up 56% to bring in $5.9 million for an impressive total of $42.7 million so far. With Oscar nominations a sure thing, expect to see this modern fairy tale continue to climb at the box office. After the break, I'll tell you what movie I saw this weekend, as well as some news about Netflix.
So much of the process of blogging is taking pre-existing pieces of media, like linking to something and then adding your idea on top of it. So I think a lot of stuff that happens in new media sort of comes out of that hip-hop creative process.
VPC TV is brought to you by ASUS and Intel. You dream it, ASUS builds it, Intel inside.
So many people have told me to see Slumdog Millionaire, so this weekend I finally did. And you know what? It deserves every single Golden Globe that it won last weekend. Best Director, Best Score, Best Screenplay, and Best Picture. In fact, I'd go so far as to say that Dark Knight has some serious competition for the Oscars. Since the award season began, I've been rallying behind Christopher Nolan's opus, and I still feel that Dark Knight is not only one of the best films of 2008, but that I've ever seen. However, I'm not so sure Nolan's brain can beat out Danny Boyle's heart. Slumdog Millionaire might have its fair share of cliches, but as a visceral experience it can't be beat. I immediately went home and downloaded the soundtrack on iTunes, and I haven't stopped listening to it since. And hey, I promised you some news about Netflix, right? Well, Netflix is having a Valentine's Day inspired competition called Netflix Greatest Kiss. Recreate your favorite movie kiss on video and upload it at netflix.com/greatestkiss. The 3 finalists will be flown to New York City to act out their kisses in front of a panel of judges. And one of those judges will be me. I'm honored that Netflix trusts my movie expertise, and it would be awesome to see someone from the Beyond the Trailer community in the top 3. The submission deadline is February 9th, so start making those videos. Grand prize is a trip to Vegas. As always, thanks for checking out Movie Math. I'll see you on Friday as Beyond the Trailer covers Inkheart and Underworld Rise of the Lycans. I'm Grace Randolph, and we just did some movie math.
Subscribe, comment, rate it.